What is up there, everybody? It's Odin. It has been a little bit since I uploaded any content to my YouTube channel. Figured maybe it was time to say hello again. Uh, yeah, not even driving and singing videos, which is like the easiest content to ever upload. I haven't been doing that shit. I just haven't been, I don't know. I haven't been wanting to be on camera that much, so and every once in a while you gotta take a break, I guess. But what I'm doing is I work on shit behind the scenes still that I want people to still have interest in. So every once in a while, I guess I got to make a rare appearance and say, "Hey, I'm still alive. I'm still doing it." I decided to focus more on the real world and less on the online world, I guess, and that's been great. So I'm happy that I was able to do that. But I miss a lot of people. Don't ever misconstrue. I miss a lot of people that used to stream with, used to chat with, etc. So, just so you know who you are. People I used to always interact with a lot more. So, in a sense, I apologize for being absent, but also don't worry. I'm good. I'm living my life and being happy. So, but that said, I'm always working on shit. I'm always wanting to, you know, share it with everybody. Uh, Drawing has gotten a lot slower though lately, and that's because, like I said, I was focusing on the real world a little bit more. But uh, the passion never strays too far from what I got going on. So, as busy as work can get, or children, and that's been very busy. It doesn't mean that I'll ever hang up the drawing and the writing and the creating. So like you can see here, this page that I've been working on, I did share this. This one's finished. This was another page for Kill Them Dead, as we're wrapping up an arc of sorts in the story, as it's got many ins and outs and avenues that it has to go down, and this is one that we're starting to get to the end of this and then go into the next, and it's exciting. I'm excited for it. The page previous to this, not because it was a hard page or not because of any reason except for that I just got busy and also lazy with my drawing. Took me forever to fucking finish. This one I banged out in a few days, and I was like, well, that's the groove I want to be in. I've got one underneath here that I've started on, which is the following page. But it's so rough you wouldn't be able to see it. So, with that said, that's Kill Them Dead. It's not dead. This thing will never die. It may come out. It may take a long, long, long time for this to finish, but I have invested too much to not finish it. I love it too much to not finish it. But there's other things working on. Unconditional Shove Volume 2. That is going to be heavily promoted here coming up as we get all of the pieces of that in one room so that we know what the fuck we're doing. But it's still a thing as well. So Unconditional Shove Volume 2 moving forward. Kill Them Dead moving forward. Magnificent Bastards 2 moving forward. That one did already launch. And the Splash, that's already in people's hands. I already fulfilled that. So it's full bore for me on this. It's nice every once in a while to. I'm hoping to be able to start working on some other stuff so I can start inking again, because as much as I really like doing the pencil part, it drives me nuts to not be able to. Yeah, I just want to ink this, and it's not my job. It's not what I'm doing, but my brain wants to slap some ink on this and make it bolder. So that's just my want. But so that said, Kill Them Dead. It's just gonna take a long time. I was talking to James about it the other day, and he had mentioned that he said it's our Mad God, which, if you know Phil Tippett, the stop motion animation guy. He worked on this project Mad God, which finally released, and it was his baby, and it was awesome, but it took him like forever to finalize, as he worked on it as he had time around, forever. And it won't take us that long, but on the same hand, I get what James was saying. It's like, we're not going to shortchange what we're doing for expediency's sake. But because of that, with the busyness of our lives and other projects that we got going on, it's just going to take a while. Please be patient. I hope the excitement never wanes. I'm hoping it actually grows. So we're just, just working on shit. Other than that, I mean, I want to start making videos more frequently. Maybe not every week like I was. I was doing a Sunday video every week. And I liked it, but I don't think my life at this point is really conducive to just stopping everything and making a video once a week. So they may be more sporadic, but they won't be as sporadic as, I don't know when the last one I made. It was probably 3 months ago or something. But just know, like I said, I miss people. It's not like I got offended or I got pissed off or there was too much drama or some shit like that. I mean, there is always too much drama, but like, that's not why I took a step back. It really was just personal. Just wanted to, I don't know, kind of touch earth in a sense and get back to, a life beyond just, being on YouTube or whatever, or constantly being in social media, etc. So what I do is every once in a while I get on Twitter, I check things, I retweet things for people when I see them that I like and I'm excited for. Other than that, I mostly just post pages as I get them done, which isn't always the best thing because, for one, it shows how slow I am, but also anyone who's so inclined could piece together all of the pages, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm too happy and excited to share these pages to keep them under wraps. It's not like I have some NDA with myself, So unless James starts saying, dude, stop sharing, or I feel that way, I'm just going to share pages as I make them and try to keep building excitement and anticipation for this project, Kill Them Dead, and any other projects we're working on or I'm working on. One thing I was thinking about maybe doing, excuse me a sec. Let me refresh my palate and my lungs. Because I have the reprint Unconditional Shove copies. And I was thinking about taking one of these and just walking through, all the pages and doing like a commentary, like a behind the scenes, talk about my thought process and read the story along. There's no spoilers now. Nobody's buying this shit anymore. So, so I don't feel like it's a big deal to just walk through it if anybody wants to gain some inside baseball on why I did what I did and certain things. Because this was all, I mean, it was very much a learning experience, being the first book I ever made. And there's some things I'm so proud of in it. And there's plenty of things that I'm like, I wish I would have done that different or blah, blah, blah. So, you talk about panels that I changed and pages I changed and maybe give a little insight as to what the story actually is, or stories. There's 2 of them. If anyone's interested, so I don't know. If you're watching this and you are interested in something like that, let me know. And I'd be glad to do it. It'd be fun to narrate it and go through the story together. But that would be obviously complete spoilers. That would just be me telling the entire story. And not only spoilers, but beyond spoilers, to where I'm giving the spoilers of the spoilers. Let's see. So what's going on in the world? So today's Monday, post Super Bowl Monday, which two teams I don't care about, but one team I really fucking can't stand. And last year's Super Bowl, I did a video that day and talked about it because the Chiefs won, and I was fucking pissed, and because I hate the Chiefs. And some random person saw the video and called me a hater or something, and I'm like, I don't care. Like I grew up in Colorado watching the Broncos my entire life. It's in my DNA to hate the Chiefs. Get over it. I don't give a shit. I'm not a bandwagon hater. I've always hated the Chiefs. It's just now they're really good, so it's even the hate has become solidified, and it's just more present because I have to hear about them all the time. I have to see these people that I can't stand, like Travis Kelce and his lady, over and over again, and that just like aggravates the hate that was already there. So that said, this Super Bowl was my favorite Chiefs Super Bowl ever. I don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So if I have to, why not watch them lose in devastating fashion, especially when everyone kept saying the fucking words three-peat, which I hate that word anyway. I get it. It rhymes with repeat, and it's the third time, so you call it a three-peat. I get it, but it still annoys me. It's a stupid word. And it's even stupider when I'm like, fuck, I don't want the Chiefs to three-peat. But I didn't want them to win their fourth Super Bowl as well. Because right now they're at pace Super Bowl wins with the Broncos. And then that would put them over the edge. And whether they do eventually go over the edge or not, I just don't want it to happen. So three-peat, no three-peat, all these kinds of things. I just didn't want the Chiefs to win. And they lost horribly. They got blown out, and it was fucking amazing. Now, the final score was so much better than what it actually was. I mean, they got their ass handed to them all game long until the fourth quarter was some garbage time shit. Xavier Worthy out of nowhere. They're like, oh, yeah, we should use him. Started tearing it up, but yeah. So, happy for the Eagles. I mean, not that I really care about the Eagles that much, but they were my team yesterday. So that made me happy. And you can suck it, Chiefs fans. I don't care. Like, you've been riding high for a long time. Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings right now. It's just like Patriots fans back in the day. Like, if you guys lost a Super Bowl, nobody give a shit. And the way that Patriots did it too, and the Chiefs did it this year, like, nobody believes in us and we're underdogs. You're not fucking underdogs. You can't play that fucking card. You've been on top of the world for a long time. Nobody cares. So when I say suck it, Chiefs fans, I hope you suck it because you've had it good for so long. So it's fine. You'll live. That's called a spoiled fan base. Denver was there for a little while shortly, back before John Elway retired. And then we were kind of there with Peyton Manning a little bit. Not like full-on regular Super Bowl champions or something. But nonetheless, we've been there a few times where it's like, yeah, if you go back and suck for a little while, it's not a big deal. Now, the Chiefs aren't going to suck. They're going to be good. They're going to be a thorn in the side of the entire NFL for several years at least. So you got that. Hang your heads. I hope you hang your heads. But just be like, don't get weird about it when everybody wants you to lose. Nobody likes a dynasty unless it's their team. So just get over it. What else is going on? I've had a lot of stuff as a father going on recently. I love my kids so freaking much. And they're just so good at breaking your heart in so many ways, or acting like you did when you were their age. And what Bill Cosby called the mother's curse in his stand-up comedy. the mother's curse works, and that's the curse is basically the mother telling the kids, I hope when you have kids that they behave just like you did. And that said, I'm very happy and proud of them that they don't behave just like I did. They just every once in a while do some things that only a young stupid myself would ever thought somebody would want to do. So I'm like, who taught you how to do this? And they say, you. All right, we learned it by watching you. But they are quite awesome kids. It's just that they, because they're like me in some ways and not as bad, but I proverbially, I almost said literally, I've got teenage girls, proverbially had to bash my head against a wall before I believed that it was going to hurt. And why, I don't know, and I'm still kind of like that. People can tell me till they're blue in the face, don't do that. And I'm like, well, I won't know till I try. It's worked for me in some cases. It's bit me in the butt more often than not. But that said, I'm sitting there watching my kids do some things like that, and I'm like, where did you learn this? What is in your DNA or something? I don't know. Yeah, it's in their DNA, I guess. But so that's when I talk about things taking my attention and stuff, that's a big part of it as well. Another part of it is and I'm pretty sure I talked about it the last video or maybe the last few. Since moving out to Missouri as a single man, I met a beautiful, awesome lady, and that budding romance that's been going on has been great as well. And what happens when that happens is, you tend to want to spend a lot of time together. You're not quite as independent as you were when you had nobody in your life. So that said, you spend a lot of time together, which occasionally I do draw when we're spending time together, but a lot of times it's most of the time, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I'm not drawing and we're doing things together. And, it's going very well. So that's that. And I'm very happy about it. And she's an awesome lady, a wonderful woman, and I'm happy. So that is something going on. Recently, so it's kind of fun because she doesn't know. I don't think she's dated like a nerdy guy who's like steeped in, certain elements of pop culture, like, obscure horror movies or not even that obscure, but just like things that like people who are watching this video, you people, probably all take for granted, like, hey, because we all hang out and we all know each other and you go to the comic shops and you meet people and you're at Comic Cons and you kind of all have this, like, it's not even a question. Anybody our age, did you watch RoboCop or something, It's like we all did. All of us, and some of us many, many times. And it's like that with many things, like movies being the biggest, because her and I will enjoy those together, or shows, TV shows. But also music, it's like, my mind is like, how does somebody go through their life not listening to, well, I've got over that in a lot of ways. I was going to say like Faith No More, which is my favorite band, but most people have heard Epic at least, but very few people have heard more than that. But my people quite often have heard quite a bit more than that. So as she's become excited to learn some of these things, because it's such a big part of who I am, I'm like, yes, I love a lot of older horror and sci-fi and fantasy and what would be considered nerd type things. I like comic books and I like, all those things, horror, sci-fi, fantasy. superhero. It's like a whole new world to her because she didn't grow up with it, you know. So so I'm able to like introduce her almost like I do with my daughters. Is like, well, you've never seen this, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this, and the list is gigantic. That's somebody's, you know, when I say people our age have watched RoboCop, she hasn't, you know. And so I'm like, well, we haven't watched RoboCop yet, but someday I'm gonna force her to watch that. And she's got her own things that she's, you know, introduces me to, but they're not nearly as cool. I'm just gonna say it. And she knows it. That's what's awesome because she's willing to check out all these things. Now, eventually, as relationship settles and your lives, you know, if it keeps progressing like I think it will, your lives settle, and it's not that you go your own way, but your independence becomes more prevalent. In the initial days, you do all the things together, and then you kind of settle into like, at least that's what I've seen, and that's what most people end up doing. So I don't expect her to be into all the things I'm into, but right now she's into me, so she's into those things. But it's fun. It's been fun for me because I get an excitement when I get to introduce somebody who, you know, a blank canvas of like, you know, these things that are so important to me, I guess, or in, you know, valuable to me as far as creatively. And so it's been fun. One of those things though was when we first started dating, I was rewatching Twin Peaks, the series, and I watched the first two seasons, which were the original series back in late 80s, early 90s, 89 to 90, I think. And I was watching those when we first started dating, and she would text me or something, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching Twin Peaks and I'm drawing. That was a very common response. And then after that ended, I went and watched The Return, which was the 2017 series, 25 years later. And, well, roughly 25 years, but, and I'd never seen that at all. And so that was a big revelation. I loved it. I was blown away at how good it was. It felt a little more unfettered because it was like on Showtime, not network television. And so she was intrigued because I was so intrigued, and I was raving about it. I'm like, the show isn't off the chain. It's great. So we start watching it together. I started from the beginning. You know, it doesn't take long to get pretty hooked on that show. You know, obviously it's weird for somebody who's not, I mean, it's weird for even people who've been exposed to a lot of weirdness, but to somebody who's like, I guess, more normie, it's it's a bit much, but it's so good that you get caught up in it pretty quick. And we watched all the way through. So I watched it all when we first started dating, and then together we watched it all again, which was great because that second time through with fresh eyes so quickly, I was able to see a lot of things and develop some theories of my own that I didn't have the first time watching it. But all that to say, like, if you have not watched Twin Peaks, you've probably heard of it. Most people have heard of it, at least. It comes highly recommended. Highly recommended. There's so many elements to it that I think influence me subconsciously, probably because they influence so many other people, and then that roundabout influenced me. But I can feel a lot of David Lynch influence in what I do. You know, that now that said, I'm not saying I'm anything close, but the impact that a show like that had being successful on network television can't be overstated. So we get into that, and we watch it with her, and it was blowing her mind as well. And we talk about it, our theories on it, etc. Well, here comes some rain. I can hear it. It's great. Which I'll probably turn to ice. Actually, sounds like ice now. Got to go to work tomorrow. See how that goes. But we finished the whole series, and that was really cool. And then it was shortly after that that David Lynch passed away, and it was really interesting because she was the first one to share it with me, and she's like, "Oh my God, David Lynch," and I'm like, because I talked him up, and I was like, eventually we need to watch some of his movies as well because Twin Peaks is, as much as it may seem weird, is more palatable, palatable. It's much easier to take than some of his movies. But I'm like, but you got to watch these. They're amazing. I've been a fan of Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart and Lost Highway and God, what else? I mean, yeah, a lot. Oh, why is everything escaping me? But those three are the ones that first come to mind. They're the three that I've watched several times, I guess. Well, except Wild at Heart. It's been a long time since I watched Wild at Heart, but I need to rewatch it. Um, so anyway, that all happened. I guess it's been fun showing somebody all these things. And I'm like, part of it is you have to know what I'm referencing. I'm always making references to these shows and these movies, and if you don't know, so she's also got a hefty diet of Norm Macdonald, YouTube videos because that's a big part of what I like. So anyway, it's all been fun, and that's my life in a nutshell lately. Working a lot, so that's also another aspect. Work is fun. It pays the bills, but it's also nice that it's an engaging job that I enjoy. So yeah, things are good, and I hope things are good in your world as well. Um, Trying to think of any other updatable things. I can't go through all of them. I received a lot of campaigns that I've backed. Now there's still a lot lingering out there. Some of them been lingering for a long time. Some of them never, and I just know that, and it's unfortunate. But some of them that I thought maybe never uh, came. Some of them uh, have been given updates at least, and so I believe that it won't be a never thing, but and I get how long some things take, but what we did, and right or wrong, I don't know, but I didn't want to be that campaign. I didn't want to be on a campaign that was just like hanging out for years and years and years and constantly giving updates. That was what happened with Kill Them Dead. We thought rather than do that, have everybody's money, have all these people begging for refunds and things like that, uh, we would just refund the campaign right off the rip and just wait till it was much closer to being completed before we relaunch it. And a lot of that just came with that frustration of like, well, I've backed a lot of campaigns that, I don't know if I'm ever going to get, or they're constantly giving updates. But if you go into the comment section on some of these that have taken years, it is a lot of people just like, I don't know, bashing them or talking shit or asking for refunds. And I'm like, no, I certainly don't want that. My reputation is important to me. It's extremely important to me. It's everything. I mean, so we thought that was the right thing to do. Just refund and start over because we realize, obviously, Kill 'Em Dead is going to take a long time. So, and it is. But I didn't want to have everybody's money and just constantly have to update and just hear it from the people who backed, because the people who back are so important that I would never want to hear that they're dissatisfied. And if they are, I want to do anything I possibly can to make it right. So I'm the type who would dip into my own funds to refund if I had to. I would refund anybody who asked for it, but I realize not everyone is in a situation to do that. But I don't want to do that either. I just saying like that's my personality, but that's because my name and my honor and my reputation are important to me. So so rather than run into that problem, just refunded it. But going back to what I was saying, I've received a lot of campaigns that I've backed recently. Now, one of them, I'm not going to say which one live because I need to just eventually reach out to the person who ran the campaign. But I had backed an original art tier. I received the book, but I've never heard hide nor hair about any of the original art that I'm supposed to get. So obviously, I paid an extra premium price to get original art, and I haven't heard anything. But I did get the book. That was nice. But yeah, so but then again, I should be proactive a little bit myself and go after them. But they got the money, and it shows you on the campaign that I've never been reassured that I'm ever going to get that. So maybe I just need to reach out. But that was the only weird thing. Everything else came, and it was great. A lot of good ones. The one of the more recent ones that I feel like highlighting because it was just so cool. The presentation, the book itself, the look of it, but also the price point being extremely low. I mean, as low as possible. And I know this person had to been reaching into their own. Well, without a doubt, they reached into their own funds to make sure that people got an experience. But anyone who backed Band of the Crow realized that what Arvid Nelson and Oren put together was a really cool book. I was hoping for a bigger book. That would be my only gripe. But at the price point, I couldn't even complain, not even close. But just because I liked it so much, I wanted more. But that was awesome. Like the unboxing experience, as it's called in the business, we call it the unboxing experience. Was fantastic, especially again like for I don't know what it cost. It was less than $10 with shipping, and not many people are able to do that. But especially to have like he had a mailer that was printed with their logo, and it was printed both sides, so it was red on the inside and the logo on the front. And then he had lots of the tchotchkes or whatever. But it was really cool to me because Arvid's a friend, or I call him a friend, But it was nice. He gave me something in there that was personalized, and I said, "Odin, thank you," and all this. And he really hooked it up a little bit more even, and I was like, bro, you're too kind. So Arvid, you killed it. Oren, the artwork was fantastic. It was a great book, a grand slam. You guys were awesome. So that one was a very recent one, and it was just such a pleasurable experience receiving that from them. So I want to say kudos. Several others. I got the good stuff. I didn't get the cookbook. I thought the tier I backed came with a cookbook, but I got a cutting board and a spatula. I got things from that campaign. A friend of mine, another person I consider a friend, even though I feel like I've lost touch with people being away for a while. But nevertheless, I'll always, as long as you guys do too, I'll always consider you friends because, spend a lot of time bullshitting with you. So I don't do that with just anybody. Maybe I do. I don't know. But that's it. That was cool. Several others. I don't know. They're not jumping the top of my head, but other than that, like what I get at the comic shop is always just Conan related or creepy. I've been getting lots of creepy. So I got another volume of the collection. So I'm trying to get them all, but they're big. They're not terribly expensive, but money is always a premium. So So parting with it is hard. But the one I get regularly at my comic shop is Titans, Conan the Barbarian, and their Savage Sword of Conan, which are both killing it. Just amazing. The most recent Conan the Barbarian wasn't my favorite. Part of it was the artwork was not my style. It wasn't bad. It was actually good. It's just not my style. And it wasn't what, like they've had so many, specifically De La Torre, who is like John Buscema modern. You know, it's just fucking amazing, and his style is so good. But his style is so good because it looks so much like Buscema that all of us fans of Conan are just, you know, creaming our shorts over it because he's so good at it. But the Savage Sword, after the first issue, they really listened, and it feels a lot like the Savage Sword magazine. I don't know if you'll ever capture that awesomeness like it was with the original run, but it's still really, really good, and the stories are fun. The artwork's amazing. All black and white on, you know, newsprint, or whatever. It's not really newsprint, but yeah, just awesome. They're just killing it. So those ones I get every single issue because they're just really good. Stories are fun. They feel very Conan-like. They don't feel contrived. Some of the other series, a lot of people complain about the Marvel series, which I liked, but this one's far superior. So yeah, Titan Conan, the Barbarian, and Conan, the Savage Sword of Conan are awesome, and highly recommended. So. Other than that, I don't got much. Like I said, I hope to do more regular updates. We'll see. Maybe do driving and singing videos again. That's also kind of just got stale for me. It was fun, and it's easy. It's easy to upload and record, but I don't know. We'll see. That's all I can promise right now. We'll see, and we'll see if I do the reading and the commentary for Unconditional Shove Volume 1. Like I said, if you want that, let me know. Otherwise, I probably won't do it. I don't know. I might do it. Other than that, thank you for watching. Sorry it's been so long. I miss you all. I'm sorry. And as always, I hope wherever you are in life, whatever you're doing, that, you know, like, that you're facing your obstacles with power and confidence and courage and strength and character and integrity, of course, a great deal of care for the loved ones in your life, and hoping the best for you, because you know, the world needs people who can fight through the shit and become a pillar of hope for others, so that we can all just like get through this thing called life, not just to make it on the other side and leave a good looking corpse. No, not just to get on the other side and end, but like to have a positive impact on our sphere of influence in the world around us. And I've always felt that's very important. That's why sometimes I get a little apologetic when I step back from interaction, is because I want to be a positive encouragement into people's lives. And when I step back, it's for my own self. And I feel I got to do that sometimes, especially because I'm naturally very introverted, and I don't really like, which people probably don't understand, because I can speak very naturally, and I used to be a performer, you know, live performer in a heavy metal bands, but the reality is I can only do that in spurts, and it's probably why I didn't pursue that even more, is because I'll become drained very fast, or I'll really pine for the isolation of not being seen. So, but when I do that, I get refreshed, but then I also, you know, want to, again, you know, have some kind of impact, even if it's just as simple as you enjoy the comics, or you enjoy the artwork, or you enjoy my stupid banter or whatever it is. I just want to have a positive impact. But in order for me to do that properly, I think I have to retreat every once in a while and refresh. So that's kind of how things go. It's been my MO my whole life. So, but that said, wherever you're at, I hope that you're able to, if nothing else, like be a positive influence just through the example of striving in your obstacles and in the speed bumps that life throws at us. Oftentimes I'll see people that just seem to get hit left and right, keep a positive nature and just keep cruising along. And it's one of the most inspiring things. And they don't have to get on video or something. They don't have to even talk about it. It's just a testimony of their own life. So in that, I hope you're conquering all the things that life throws at you, because especially if you have like children, like they're watching, everybody's watching, and not in some kind of like waiting for you to fail or any kind of pressure. It's just the reality of life, and we always have the opportunity to throw a little awesomeness, a little excellence into this world, or the opportunity to throw an incompetent nature or something like that onto things. So what I tell my kids all the time, and sometimes they do great with it, sometimes they don't, but like I just always say, try to be awesome in whatever you do. Try to be awesome in whatever you do. And that's your attitude, that's your influence on others, that's your work ethic. It's kind of this all-encompassing thing that if you can capture that, you'll be a true leader, and you will be a positive influence on the world around you and make an impact. And that's what we hope for. That's what you should hope for, strive for. And so, yeah, hopefully I do that in some sense in my sphere. The most important being my children, but also just in general, the people I work with. Any of you that glean any kind of help from any bullshit that I ramble, try to do that. But it doesn't have to be spoken. It can be, it's actually spoken is the least important part. The most important part is actually doing it. And another thing I tell my kids all the time, you are what you do. You can talk about whatever. You can talk a good game. It really doesn't matter. You are what you do. And so be awesome. Do awesome things. I hope whatever you're doing, that you're just pursuing it and trying to be awesome. So that's what I got. Until next time, this is Odin, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Anyway, take care.